For everyone listening too, if you don't follow us on Twitter, we went and finally launched a Discord for the COD Casuals, and we've been working on this for a while now, and we're glad to finally have it at the launch of this game. If you're listening and you haven't joined it yet, we're going to have it in the description below, so be sure to go and join that way or follow us on Twitter. We'll be posting the link all the time, so you can go join up that way. This is a new year. This is actually a good COD. People seem to be wanting to talk about it, and we want to talk with everybody that watches us and listens to us about it, so definitely make sure to join. The overall vibe around this game, especially on the competitive side and even on the casual side, has been really positive. Everyone's been really liking it. And even though we don't hear really any negative stuff, there is always those tweets that I'm seeing about the player base being a lot less than it was last year, or I'm seeing like top 10 games that have been sold over the month. Black Ops 7 is down on the bottom, and everyone's like, yep, it's falling off. It's terrible. Maybe this is controversial. This is probably the best OpTic that we've had. I mean, it is the best OpTic we've had in a long time. The hype behind this team because of how good they are and what they've accomplished, it's at an all-time high. So it's going to be insane to be there and witnessing it and knowing that this team could walk away and win that tournament. I think I'm grinding, and then I'm like, I'm dodged. Then we realize we're pushing 30. We don't have enough time. Welcome, everybody, to episode number 250 of the COD Casuals podcast. We're your host, Mike.
I'm Justin.
Justin, how we doing?
Doing pretty good. It's past Thanksgiving. Hopefully everybody that celebrates had a good Thanksgiving. Some time to recharge. We're recording on a Saturday instead of Monday because I was traveling, but also we were just busy with the holidays and stuff. So, but everything's been good. There's a lot of Call of Duty to talk about. Yeah, you and I just caught up before this because we haven't talked in like, I don't know, 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's been a little bit since we last chatted just about the pod and everything. So it's been always good to catch up. I was going to say, too, before we even get into that, a couple of big announcements. First off, we're going to probably put it at the beginning of the episode, but saying it now fresh again, the Discord, we were talking about it. Discord's been a success so far. We've been enjoying seeing people in there chatting. So if you're listening right now and you're thinking about joining or you haven't joined yet, we're going to make sure to put it in the link below and on our socials. Just join up and be part of the community because it's always fun. And for sure, we are going to be very active in the Discord during the OpTic Major.
Yes.
We need to discuss this quickly. The tickets went on sale. Your two boys here, VIP, we are going. This is going to be a monumentous moment in our lives. Flying out to in the heart of downtown Dallas.
Yeah, we OpTic, they're the last event to release tickets because you can buy tickets right now for all the other 3 majors. And I mean, if you guys are listening and like don't really know anything about the CDL or like Call of Duty, really, the professional side, but OpTic is like the major to go to in terms of like fan base. Like the green wall is huge. OpTic's a fan favorite anywhere you go, rightfully so. Great team. Obviously, when we see Boston, we're going to be supporting those guys because I have a strong feeling they're going to be very good. I mean, we'll get into it. They looked really good in the tournament they played. So, but we're going to the OpTic Major, and if you're a CDL fan or just Call of Duty fan in general, this is like a bucket list of, events to go to, an OpTic event. So you and I said we're going to make our way down there at some point, and we got tickets. I feel like this is probably the best time right now to go to because they just won champs. They won EWC. They just won another tourney. Like, they look great. There's so much hype around them. They're doing the ring ceremony, and I'm amped about seeing these guys because we've been watching these guys for years, like OpTic in general, and now we're actually going to be there. So
yeah, it's gonna be an unbelievable moment. If you haven't gone to a major, the OpTic ones are always the ones that you generally kind of want to shoot for. Any major is great. We've been to 3. We've been fortunate enough to go to them and really enjoy them. But this is going to be a different level, I feel. From when we see it online when we're watching the event, the amount of people that go there, just the support overall is insane. And like you said, where OpTic is right now compared to last year. Even last year was insane. Every year you go there's insane, but I don't maybe this is controversial. This is probably the best OpTic that we've had. Like, I mean, it is the best OpTic we've had in a long time. But comparing to like, when they had what was it? They had Formal and Crim on there, and
Mhm.
Scump. I know it's a little bit hard to compare to that, but the hype behind this team because of how good they are and what they've accomplished, it's at an all-time high. So it's going to be insane to be there and witnessing it and knowing that this team could walk away and win that tournament. Which, if they ended up winning their home major, Major One, I mean, we're not going to have a voice for the rest of the week. It's going to be completely shot.
Oh, yeah, and, like, well, when the tickets were announced, I was at my buddy's house. We were about to leave for lunch. I'm like, "You gotta wait. Like, I need to I need to wait for these tickets to release," and I'm buying them immediately. I was, like, scanning through, looking at, where we're gonna sit, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, this is where we're sitting. The VIP section? Alright, let's go." Got them
Yeah.
and then left. Um, but if any of you guys are going to the OpTic Major, let us know. Join the Discord. We'll make like a new section to for people like going to the major and stuff. But if you guys are at the major and like want to meet up and like chat or whatever, like definitely like let us know because I'm super excited about it. And I feel like at these majors, this is where you really meet, all the other Call of Duty fans that have been watching for years. And we've met a few people at the Boston major last year and like it was sick seeing everybody there and everybody's there for one reason and it's to watch Call of Duty and just cheer on those teams.
Yeah, and to that point too, this is a really good year to be watching because the game is really, really good.
Hmm.
We're gonna talk about the tournament here in a minute. But we were even saying before we started recording, like the overall vibe around this game, especially on the competitive side and even on the casual side, has been really positive. Strictly on the multiplayer, everyone's been really liking it. And even though we don't hear really any negative stuff, there is always those tweets that I'm seeing about the player base being a lot less than it was last year, or I'm seeing like the top 10 games that have been sold over the month, and Black Ops 7 is down on the bottom, and everyone's like, "Yep, it's falling off, it's terrible." Um, and I don't really try to buy into that stuff that much because you can always look at the metrics of how a game is doing, but you have to just really see what you think about it. And I enjoy the game. I'm happy I spent the 70 on the game for the multiplayer. Everything else, forget about it. Watch that episode on the campaign if you well, or maybe don't watch it.
No, watch
Um,
it, watch
yeah,
it.
but yeah, it's going to be a really, really fun year to watch. I haven't seen many people in the scene talking negatively about it or saying that it's a boring game or anything like that.
Mhm. No, yeah, exactly, and the numbers have been low. Like we can't deny that, but the numbers have been low for COD every single year. Like they do keep decreasing
Hmm.
over the years, and again, rightfully so. There's a lot of other games out that are competitors to Call of Duty, and people like jump on that. But I was saying earlier before we started recording, like the amount of people that would play Call of Duty over the years, they kind of just like they fell off because it was COD after COD that wasn't that good. There are always
Hmm.
problems with it. And once you lose a customer, it's so hard to get a customer back. And
Yeah.
I was saying like it's just a shame that go listen to our Black Ops 6 review. Great game, but man, there's so many problems and even for us, like we were burnt out of like the amount of people just talking shit on the game. Like on a day-to-day basis. It was awful. And I think that spread to even, the regular player. Like I was talking to someone yesterday and they're playing Battlefield 6 right now because they're playing Black Ops 6 and this person's super casual and he was saying like we got cheated on all the time. And specifically in Warzone. Imagine being in second like your second circle's closing and then you just get like an aimbot immediately and you die. You just spent all that time for nothing. And the cheaters really killed that game and so much negativity was just spread on that game. Where I feel like now Black Ops 7, great multiplayer, like great game, and so many people just haven't they didn't buy the game because they kind of lost faith in Call of Duty and Treyarch, which I can't really blame them. All I can say is I hope that if you are one of those people, at least try the game because this multiplayer is really good. It's definitely worth it compared to last year, MW2, MW3. Like this is a very, very fun multiplayer. Um, and the pros are loving it too. Like I can't wait till rank comes out.
Yeah, I can't either. And again, it's just because for us, we took the chance on. I mean, obviously, because the podcast, and it wasn't really a debate. Like, yeah, we were going to get Black Ops 7 regardless. But for a lot of people, and to your point earlier, that seems to be the general thread with people who play the game, and really any game is if you get screwed over once, it's like the fool me once, shame on you; fool me twice, shame on me, kind of a deal.
Mhm.
Um, you know, Black Ops 6 for a lot of people sucked because of the hacking, and I don't blame them. And it ruined the experience. And then why would they go right into the next year where it's Black Ops 7 and they're maybe not seeing as many changes as they were hoping for? Um, or even if they are, they're just completely blinded by that and say, nah, forget it. Like, there's no way. They're just going to ask again for my $70, barely change anything. It's going to be the same experience. Um, and I totally understand that. But I do feel that because of the reception from Black Ops 6, this game, Black Ops 7, is going to get lost in time, probably for about 4 or 5 years, and then there's going to be some 45-minute YouTube video on why Black Ops 7 was one of the greatest CODs in the past 5-10 years. Um, and they're right. It is definitely one of the better ones we've had since MW 2019, strictly on the multiplayer side. And it's hard to get a game that's good casually and that's also good competitively. And so far from like what we've seen, this game, like watching that tournament, it was really really fun to watch this. It was, I don't know, it was something about it compared to last year, and just the fact that you've got this wall bouncing thing, um, which I didn't think was going to be as like big of a deal. But now when I watch it and how it plays on a lot of these maps and how people are using it, it just makes it way more entertaining to watch. Especially with like the map set that they put out and some of the maps in season 1 that are going to be coming, which we'll talk about later. Um, it just gets me even more excited because I think this year it's incredibly strong on the multiplayer side, and for us and for people who follow competitive, it's like it's gonna be a year that you don't wanna miss.
Yeah, and the wall bouncing thing, it's so funny watching all these players stream. They're hitting these wall bounces, but it's like in anything, they keep some secrets to themselves, until it's tournament time, and then they pull out this crazy like jump spot, like wall bounce that no one has seen, and now everybody's going to be using like these spots, right? Because of that. I specifically remember like I remember it was Hydra on like Karachi, like the wall bang
Mm,
to the bomb, and he killed someone off bomb. I'm like, dude. And this was like late into the year. No one knew about this wall bang, and he randomly pulls it out at an event, and everybody's like freaking out about it.
that was the one from
Um,
Back Castle, right?
yeah, and like
Yeah,
I loved that stuff because obviously these guys, they're professional players. They're learning everything about this game. Um,
yeah.
the casual player will not go out of their way to find all of these wallbang spots. And I guarantee you, like a lot of these pros, like especially Shotsy, he's got spots, jumps, and wallbangs that he's not showing on stream.
Oh, yeah,
The
no
yeah,
doubt.
these are gonna be pulled out, some special play during a major at some insane, like, timing.
Right.
It's gonna happen. It's always, like, any trick play in, like, football, just out of nowhere, some random shit happens, and then,
Mhm.
the play works out. And if the play works out, and usually they do because the other team just has no idea what they're trying to do, um,
Right.
it's just on the highlight reel immediately.
Yeah, and we got a little bit of a taste of that with one of the matches, which was a bit controversial, which we'll get into.
Mhm,
But yeah, we'll just jump into it honestly with the matches that we ended up having. Which, if you missed it, it wasn't part of the CDL, but it was nice that the CDL ended up broadcasting this too. Thankfully, showing some respect to the scene, because this it was titled the Monster Energy Launch Invitational. And they were competing for $75,000. So it wasn't, some small event. And they had like all the casters and everything. So it was pretty legit as to how it was run. Um, and then, at the end of the whole thing, OpTic ended up winning it.
mhm,
And starting with them, dude, they really just haven't seemed like they've missed a beat since EWC and even from champs last year. I was expecting some of the other teams, which we'll get to maybe, you know, really push them or to see, a lot more life out of them than I did. But after watching this tournament, I think it's still fairly obvious that OpTic is going to be the favorite for most of these majors. I know this is still like a preseason event,
mhm,
but from what they showcased, I mean, these guys are just grinding like nonstop. And the game really favors them. Like Hook in particular, this game, he just seems to be insane on this game.
mhm,
Like it just fits his play style perfectly. Um, and I when that guy's like active and he's in his best mode, that's when that team is going to be, pretty ridiculous. So I think that that was the big takeaway from this whole event is that OpTic is just still the number one team far and away.
mhm. Yeah, and even the other teams at this event, there are a lot of close matches. Like,
Yeah.
I obviously there's gonna be someone that's like ranked last. That it's just gonna happen. But all these players are having a lot of fun with this game. And I really do think this is probably gonna be one of the most competitive years. We say that every year, but the players enjoy this game and they're having fun with it. I'm just thinking of like even our players on Boston, like Snoopy, his POV is insane. This
Yeah.
dude's like he's already quick. This dude's wall bouncing like everywhere. He's like a mini Shotzi, just like flying. And I think there's gonna be a lot of like upsets this year. Way more upsets than we actually think. And it'll be interesting to see like the big name teams like FaZe, um, Thieves, like how they hang, like when it's actually tournament time. Um, because yeah, I mean for the most part, for this invitational, most of the teams like look pretty good. There's some teams that they weren't official teams yet, obviously, because this isn't part of the CDL. But I am glad the CDL had this, or I guess like Monster Energy came and like sponsored this because that's what we need in Call of Duty tournaments right away, and that's what they did. Um, I wish some of these orgs were able to announce their teams like a lot sooner and have their players ready to play because some of the players weren't ready to play. Um,
Right.
and I'm sure it's like a timing issue, but it's just nice to see that we were able to watch a tournament right away.
Yeah, that was for sure the best thing. And particularly for this year too, the landscape of these teams is vastly different. Nearly every team has changed minus OpTic, if I'm not mistaken, right? I mean, for
Mhm.
sure,
Yeah,
like when you look at like Boston changed to where we were talking about Thieves, FaZe. I mean, yeah, pretty much
everyone
everybody
changed.
did. And I don't know if it was for the best. Like, it's definitely for the best of the scene. Like, it's great seeing these teams a lot different than they are. But I mean, grant it is still so early in the season to see how they're all going to pan out. But like from the big teams that we had last year, like mainly being LAT and Vegas, which is now they're like is it Phase Vegas or Vegas Phase?
FaZe Vegas.
FaZe Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't do anywhere near as good as I imagine they were hoping to.
Mhm.
Um and left a lot of people wondering like, oh, did they make the fatal mistake? Like they shouldn't have FaZe shouldn't have
Mhm.
dropped Cell and like Thieves, they got Kenny on there and people see Kenny struggling and they're like, here we go again.
Mhm.
Um I think it's too early to buy into some of that propaganda with those teams.
It's way too
Um,
early. The season didn't even
yeah,
start yet. If people are like, all we can say now is that still look like they're in championship form. Everything else is like they're not at any, and none of these teams are at peak form yet, including OpTic.
no.
It's so early. Like these guys, and again, some of these teams they didn't even play with all four players. So,
Like
um,
Miami didn't, right? They
yeah,
had a weird team going on there.
yeah. So it's just nice to see like some entertainment. That's what I took away from this. Um, when it really counts is when the CDL like kicks off. Once that season starts, we'll really see. And even then, like I still think it will be too early after like week one, right? Like we won't even know how these teams will do. Um, because some teams are just gonna come out flat. Like I wouldn't be surprised if FaZe they come out like completely flat, like the first split or something, and then they kick up like going into the second major or third major. Uh, what really matters though is honestly like the second half, like the back half going into champs. Unless like your optic and you are just like destroying in the beginning and you build this big lead, which is what happened last year with Carolina. Like they're lucky in the beginning of the season, like they were frying, but then the latter half of the season, like they lost everything and they didn't even make champs.
Right, right.
Like you want to
No,
have a better second half than the beginning.
yeah, like it is important too to be starting off relatively strong so you can get yourself kind of solidified and to be making champs, which some of these teams, obviously inevitably they won't end up making it.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, to that point too, like the fight for making it to champs this year is going to be really strong because a big takeaway I had from this as well, along with like where Optic stands, is just that a lot of these teams, I'm not seeing any of these teams that I'm like, oh yeah, screw them. Like, forget about it.
Yeah.
There's really no point in watching them. Um, every team kind of has something interesting going on with them. Like, even to Carolina's point, like Slasher being the one guy that they kept from there, but then they've got Nero, Craze, and Lurks on there. Like, Nero obviously has that pop off ability that we've seen before, and he has that in him. Um, but it's just being able to see, is Slasher and that whole team, are they going to be able to connect and really like gel as a team to be able to be successful and not
Mhm.
have a horrendous back half of the year like they did last year? Um, just teams like that where I'm always keeping an eye on them because they can be doing well. Um, but it's just hard because the competition every year in the CDL, it's just gotten harder and harder. And we're at like peak form here now, and especially with a lot of these top players that have gotten moved around to different teams, and are with new players, it makes it very interesting. Like I want to see how FaZe bounce back without having Cell and Abizi on that team,
Mhm.
and same thing with LAT, like with Hydra and Scrap. Like those guys now they've got to turn up. They didn't have the year that they wanted last year, and now they've got fucking Abizi,
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
team as well, and they've got Kenny, like a god squad team. Um, but are they going to be able to keep it going? Like, are they going to look better than they did last year?
Mhm.
That's obviously the question we'll have to answer.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the talent was spread out this year, which it is a good thing for the scene, because there's a lot of combinations that we haven't seen on teams, right?
Mhm.
Like Falcons, they could like randomly turn up. I
Yeah,
don't
I know.
know, like um, they could be awful now, and then the second half of the year, like they could completely turn up. So
I will say, Justin, it was sad seeing Falcons lose.
yeah, yeah,
Like seeing Celium get dead last and getting because I got to pull that up here. He lost round map 5 to Censor's team,
hmm
which is insane.
yeah,
You know, shout out Doug,
yeah,
who showed up on, like, I think it was kind of last minute for him to be doing this, I
yeah,
believe, right?
yeah,
Yeah, and he goes and him with Standy, Johnny, and Diamond Con going and beating the Falcons. Yeah, that was I'm sure a dagger to those guys.
oh
And
yeah, oh,
just weird again, weird seeing that Cell going from FaZe in the year they had last year, which
mhm.
in all terms was a pretty good year that they had. Seeing him now on Falcons is weird. and seeing them get dead last is just as weird, you know.
Yeah.
But to your point, I have no idea if they're gonna be bouncing back. I can't imagine that those guys, like, that level of talent, that they can't put it together and get some decent performances, but, you know, you gotta be kinda real. Are they gonna be, making it to Sundays regularly? I doubt it.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know. Like, I'm not gonna say regularly, but some of these teams, like, again, it's just so early, like, you just don't know. Um,
That's my early prediction.
yeah, yeah. It's just like, I'm just saying, like, OpTic, they look great. They do look great, but we have the whole year. Like, can they keep up that consistency all year? Because usually what happens is beginning of the game, whatever team grinds the most and like really learns the game, they're always gonna pull ahead. But
Mhm.
major three, major four time, that's when every team should be at peak form. And if you're not at peak form by then, because everyone will know how to play the game by then we'll really know who's good and who's bad. And with the talent spread out, there's always going to be like a team in dead last. Like, it'd be unfortunate if one of the teams dead last is FaZe or Thieves or Falcons, because those star players are all spread out and like who made like the right decision
Mhm.
with the right teammates. But I mean, it would be very hard to believe if like Thieves or even FaZe end up like towards the bottom there. But again, it's that second half like kick up. If any team can do that towards the second half, that it's perfect timing. I mean, we know that OpTic did that. MW3, they said it even in the process. They should have like broken up like before that. Then they won champs, and it just all worked out.
Right, right. And along with this too, like the shakeup is for me, the big shakeup team is it was during the event, Orglis, which is now Paris Gentlemates. Um, I think that team has thrown a huge wrench into this because this is a team that, the Gentlemates team or like Gorillas, I believe it was at some point, was pretty much a backmarker team, like really not doing anything that special. And now they got second place at this and handed OpTic map losses, which OpTic wasn't losing. They 3 0'd everybody up until grand finals.
Hmm.
Uh, and that team is really, really good. I mean, what do you got on there? You got Ghosty, you got Envoy, this guy,
Sib.
yeah, Sib and Neptune.
Hmm.
Totally new team of players that they put together for like cherry picking from all the best teams from last year, and I think that team is definitely the wild card team. They're for sure going to be a good one all year, and it's just going to be a new team that now FaZe and Falcons and Thieves they have to go up against. I don't think it's going to be the standard where it was OpTic, and then Thieves and FaZe. They're always going to be the top three. I think this team now is going to definitely rival um, all three of those teams to be trying to make it to Sunday
Hmm.
and be competing for grand finals. That team impressed me the most throughout this whole tournament. They're completely new. None of those guys have played with each other than Envoy and Ghosty when they were on Thieves last year, and they look really good. But
Hmm.
they still got second.
Yeah,
Uh, is Neptune the second place curse, bro? I
I do. I don't know. The thing, it's like these. There's always one team, right, that becomes like the complete, underdog of the
Mhm,
whole season. And last year it was Surge, and this year it could be Gentlemates. Who knows? Um, but I think just because all this talent, just everyone's just spread out. There will be teams that surprise us completely. Um, I don't want to write off like the other teams. I think right now the only teams that we can for sure say that will be standouts is OpTic and Thieves, uh, purely based off of the players on there.
mhm.
Because FaZe this year they could be a complete underdog. Like we don't know
Yeah,
with that combination. Same with Falcons. They could put it together. Like I just find it very hard that Cell and Pred, those two guys specifically, can't put that shit together. But again, it's not just gameplay. It's everything around it.
right,
Like team
right.
chem, like if they know if it's gonna work or not. So we'll see. I'm excited for the year. That tournament was a really good start to get everyone going for competitive. And I mean, if think about it, like it's about to be December. Well, no, when you guys listen to this, it's gonna be December.
Mhm.
Season one, which we'll get into, like, is gonna come out like that week, and the CDL is supposed to start up in December. Then we got OpTic Major in January. Like it's gonna
Yeah.
come quick.
Really,
So
really quick.
I'm just excited for the season. I can't wait till they release ranked. I just after watching them play, I'm like, I want to jump in and play and just
And
learn.
and you know what I love seeing too during this tournament? Snipers in it.
Yeah.
That was so
Yeah.
sick. And there's a whole bunch of debate, I'm sure that you've seen too
Yeah.
on the timeline swirling around about this. Because snipers, we haven't had them since what, MW 2019? Was that the last time we had snipers in the game?
Uh Well, the whole season, yeah, 2019. I know in
Yeah.
Cold War they had in the beginning, then they completely got rid of them.
Yeah, and this was it was really nice to see snipers return to this. Um, and the whole debate now is, should they be in there? Should they not be because they're overpowered or whatever? Um, and I think it was Shotzi who said it best. On kind of paraphrasing what he said is that absolutely they should be in there because that's what the fans want, and like we're here to entertain. And if the fans aren't entertained by it, then none of us have a job.
Mhm.
Um, a very corporate answer, but a very like truthful answer too,
Mhm.
because he's right. Um, I personally, and I'm sure you agree, I want snipers in this game. It's just like when there's nothing like watching it live. Like again, if we have it at the event and they have snipers in there, which I'm gonna probably assume they do. Um, there's nothing like having someone who's just hard scoping down like a site, and you know that they're coming. You can see
Mhm.
them, with Codcaster, and everyone's like, "Oh,"
Yeah,
like
yeah.
waiting for it to go down, or some insane sniper clips, which we had during the tournament. Um, those are just so awesome. But the argument is, are they too overpowered and can you counter them? For me, that's for those guys to figure out. I think they
Mhm.
should totally have them in there because it made it way more entertaining to see some of those guys who you knew were good with snipers, like Dashy, of course, he's good. And then seeing some other people, like I'm pretty sure not 04, I think it was Abuza on
Mhm.
phase. He was sniping and he was insane. And a lot of people were like, dude, what the hell? Like they had no idea that he was that good.
Mhm.
Um, so having those specialty players who can do that, for me, it's awesome to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I think snipers should definitely be in. I think Shotzi said something along the line of, "We're nothing without the scene," which is it's true.
Mhm.
If they didn't have, like, fans watching the scene, then, like you said, they wouldn't have a job. So,
Right. Right.
just and some of the players, obviously, they don't like the snipers in because 'cause they're not it's competitive and, you need to build the scene. You need to build the scene up. You gotta recover from what it was like before, and I think if you're a pro, you're good enough and smart enough, I would hope, to counter a sniper.
Yeah.
Like, if we can do it in a ranked match, they can do it too. uh, and I think that's the thing. When you're a pro, anything that's thrown at you, yeah, it might be bullshit or whatever, but you have to like work around it. That's what
Yeah.
makes it interesting. And it makes like, the whole scene even better. So I'm sure they'll keep snipers in. Because everyone's been asking for it. Like it's so funny the divide of players that like do want snipers in versus don't, and then some like that just don't care at all. Uh, I want the names of the people like to be plastered on a wall that like don't want it in
Right. Me
because
too.
I feel like no one says it. I feel like anytime I hear on stream or whatever, people will say I don't care or like I want snipers in. It's never I don't want the snipers in. Like I've never heard of like the players like saying that. Like, so who are all these people saying that we don't want them in? Um, and for the people, I Scrap has said like he doesn't care like at all if they're in. Like he's just there to play Call of Duty. I
Mhm.
respect that answer, but also I'm like you're like the face of big face in the scene right now. You should just be like, yo, we're putting this in. Fuck it. Like this is what the scene wants, and that's why I mean Shotzi part of Optic, but he's doing the right thing by saying
Yes.
like, "This is a scene. We got to put it in," and I'm gonna step up and say that, you know, because he has a voice. Like he's a fan favorite. Scrap's a fan favorite. Hydra's a fan favorite. I actually think all of them like want snipers in. It's just a matter of like let's get all those voices together and just say it.
Yeah. Yeah, you saw Tej who tweeted something out
Yeah.
about it, and then he got immediately ratioed by Nate Shot.
Yeah.
And Nate Shot wasn't roasting him; he was just being completely, logical and understanding with him too. Um, and that shows the divide. It's like Nate doesn't even play, but just because he's a guy that is connected to the scene and
Mhm.
speaks up in favor of it, everybody's cheering for it.
Mhm.
I think that's inevitably what everybody who watches Call of Duty wants. They just want it to be more entertaining, and they know that snipers are a huge part of that. Um, when you're a player, yeah, you feel differently about it, especially when you play it all the time, and that it's a new element that it has to add to the game. But again, I think Nade, like, paraphrasing what he said about it, it's like, dude, you just get used to it. Like, it sucks now because you haven't played with it for so long and you're so accustomed to how to play the game. But once you add that in, you'll just learn and adapt, like we always say,
Mhm.
and you'll just play the game like that now.
Mhm.
There's like a little bit of growing pains with it, but for sure it's going to be worthwhile. And plus two with like some of these maps that we're seeing in the map set, and a little bit with the season one roadmap. Like, bro, if we're gonna be playing Fringe and there ain't no
Mhm.
snipers on there, are you kidding me? Like,
Yeah. I need to
I'm
see like a wall bounce off mid into top barn.
yeah, like that's what I want to be seeing some crazy shots being pulled off
Mhm.
with the wall bounce and with the sniper witch. I'm pretty sure we're gonna get a bunch of that stuff.
Mhm.
Um, Before we even go to the season one roadmap, though, they did put out the map set for the CDL, which not to like talk too much on it, but man, how nice is it to be looking at that and we have more than two maps? Like we
Oh
have
no, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
we have
We went
variety finally.
Yeah, we again, Black Ops 7 has produced and put out good maps, and we're not gonna break down like every single map by game mode,
No,
but Overload is the third game mode. Honestly, like I still like Control, but this is where I can adapt. I can adapt to the new third game mode, and I can already picture like us playing or watching the pros like last minute kill the bomb is right there uh and someone like is dolphin diving in grabbing it and then capping it or like saving the cap. It's gonna be fun, like I'm all for trying a new game mode, especially if it makes it the game like a bit more competitive, so I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, the maps itself, so much more variety. And the maps that they're going to add, like in season one, like we got a lot of good maps coming, and those maps could be added into the rotation too. Like I'm just so glad we're not watching Protocol, Vault, Red Card,
yeah, I know,
all
right?
those three map rewind. We like watching four maps over and over and over again.
Yeah, it was it was pretty abysmal. To your point, I wanted to ask you on overload. And say, with the whole overload and control debate, do you think overload still needs a lot of changes for it to be better for competitive, or do you think it's not too bad the way it is right now?
Uh, I mean, I definitely think there could be more changes. But that's a game mode that they have, and at least they designed this game mode to be competitive, which I think is a big step forward because that means Treyarch is looking at the scene. They've always looked at the scene, but they are really trying to help out the competitive scene by creating their own game mode for that third game mode instead of Dom. And they did that with Control too, right? In Black Ops 4, that's when Control was amazing, and they did that specifically for competitive.
Mhm.
Um, and this one's for competitive, but there's definitely changes that they can make to Overload. Like I don't think you should be able to see the player completely when they're highlighted, when they pick up
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
EMP. Um, that helps out casual players, obviously, but when you're playing ranked and stuff, it's a skill to understand like what path a player might run, like what route they're gonna run to get to plant or the flag, whatever, right? Like I do think you should be able to see the icon on the map. Obviously, I can capture the flag. I want to know where that player is running, but it's like a slight delay, you know?
Mhm.
Um, and that will show like the good players from the great players because you really have to play together in that game mode to cap anything. You can't just get three down. You have to get three down. You're not close enough yet to run it in because they probably already spawned up on you. But uh you should be able to like predict where players are coming from and stuff like that instead of being able to see them like straight through the map.
Right. I also think you shouldn't be able to get kills when you go and pick up the bomb.
Mhm.
You know, I think
Yeah,
that
yeah. You can't use your gun essentially. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I think that's like a huge problem because if you have it, there's really no penalty to it. You think back to when they played what was the mode I'm blacking out on? It was in IW where they'd have to go and they had the nets. It's basically basketball. Like what was
Oh,
the name
it
of it?
why
Uplink.
am I forgetting?
When they would
Yeah,
play
uplink, yeah.
Uplink, yeah, like if you had the ball for Uplink, you were running around carrying it.
Yeah.
You could throw it if you needed to, but
You
well,
can throw
obviously
in
to
melee.
score. Yeah, but you were definitely limited, of course. That was the whole
Mhm,
point of it. So if you're gonna take it, you've got to have people with you.
mhm,
With this, if you have the like you got your gun up while you're doing it, you could be still frying people and like clear a path yourself. And it's obviously in the CDL, not gonna be as ideal
mhm.
doing that. You're probably not going to be able to still get gunned, but I think they should make it um, like there should be some downside to picking up the payload, or
Yeah,
picking up a
yeah,
bomb, whatever it is.
yeah. Well, the
Um,
the only downside is the enemies know where you are.
yeah,
But the thing is when you're playing, competitively, the players are already gonna know where you are, but now they just have, like, wall hacks, essentially. But,
right.
yeah, like and you get extra health too if you pick it up. So, uh, yeah. The good thing with uplink was that if you picked it up, you had your teammates around you, but you could also throw it on the ground. Like, they need to do something like that where you can drop it and then, you know, place it around everywhere. Because I can already picture when, a team will go up, they'll just grab the EMP and just run around. Like, they won't even try to score. They're just gonna play defense the whole time, uh, which I don't like that strat, but I understand why people do that strat. In my opinion, that's playing to not lose rather than playing to win.
Right.
If you're just grabbing and running it around. So, um, yeah, I mean, I'm excited for the new game mode. It'll be cool to see something different this year and like something different for us to practice and like try to master. Um, but it will help too on all the new maps that they've added because
Yeah.
yeah, there's gonna be since there's so many new maps, there's gonna be maps where a lot of these teams are gonna be so much weaker on.
Right. Right. Yeah, the size of the map pool has definitely helped with it instead of just having, only a handful of maps that you're really going to be playing from. And to what we were saying earlier, with the season 1 maps that they're going to add, I mean, they're going to have a couple of new ones in there as well. Like I just pulled it up now. Like they're going to have was it Fate, Utopia, and then the other one here that they're adding is Odysseus
Mhm.
or Odysseus, however you want to pronounce it. I they may add one of those, but then or the ones that mainly people are talking about is that Standoff is making its return, and then Meltdown. Uh, like those maps, Meltdown hasn't ever been remastered as far as I'm aware. I think this is the first time. Um, and then, we've seen the other one I mentioned earlier was Fringe. We've seen Fringe. I think it was just in the last COD. I don't know if they've done it prior to that. But with it being in competitive, we haven't seen any of those other than I think from was it Cold War that we
Mhm.
had was that the last time we had standoff? Was it Cold Maybe I
Yeah.
can't think if it was anything prior to that. Yeah. Like, I'm gonna assume that that map is gonna make it in some way,
Mhm.
whether it be for hardpoint or search and destroy. Um, so right off the bat there, like, you easily have 2 more maps that are gonna be added in there. Like, for sure, they're gonna have Standoff and Fringe.
Mhm.
Um, Meltdown, I don't know. I think that's from BO2, isn't it? Meltdown?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I
BO2.
don't really remember how that map plays. I have no
That
idea.
was an S&D map, so it
So
could
there
be
you go.
another S&D map.
Yeah, so you're already getting within season 1, you're getting those 3 maps, more than likely, they're gonna make their way in for one of the game modes, and then the new maps that they're gonna add on top of that, I got no idea what they're gonna be like. I mean, we'll just have to wait and see how they actually are and if they're
Mhm.
viable. But it's
Hey.
just so refreshing to see that we're gonna have finally more maps to be added in here. And my thing too is I wonder how they're gonna be working with overload. You know, how they're gonna
Mhm.
actually work on that mode because hardpoint and search, hardpoint's a little tough just because you got to see how they actually set up the hills and everything. But
Mhm.
with those old maps, and same thing with search, like those are just kind of copy paste. They're gonna work no matter what.
Mhm.
Um, Fringe, same thing. Like Fringe Search and Destroy is going to be really good. But with the new maps, those hard points could be absolutely insane. And then they make a decision of like, you know what, screw it. It's not going to happen. But maybe they could work for the new mode.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, I guess a lot of that depends on like the spawns and stuff, how they implement the new mode into those maps. But the more maps, the merrier, right? Like this is gonna be great because it's good for us in ranked. It's good for the competitive scene because, dude, like Optic could be frying on like I don't know, let's say 4 out of the maps. Like they've just mastered those. But obviously, if you're playing against them, you're gonna want to target their weaker maps, right? Like that. There's so much strategy that comes into the vetoing process at that point. Like you'd rather play the first like 2 maps that are like bad, like you're okay on, but the latter half of the series, like you're like ranked first in those maps. Like those are locked in, like a guaranteed win for you guys. Like you're so confident on them.
Right.
Um, and the skill is every if one team can master all the maps, which is very hard to do, right? It's never gonna happen. So and two, one team they'll play really, really well on this map. I'm sure at Major One, maybe they'll go undefeated or whatever. But then everybody realizes, like, oh, we gotta practice that map because this team is so good at it. They get better at it. That team that was originally good, declines in that map, and they pick a different map that they're practicing now. Uh, there's always going to be these like ebbs and flows, and it's going to be the same with us. I'm sure we're going to have maps where like we just it just works for our play style. We fry.
Right.
And then there are gonna be maps that we just can't like get a win on. Like it's just impossible for us. Uh so I'm just excited for like all the different like variety.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see how they're going to play with the movement too. I was listening to Zuma and Octane this morning, and they were talking about Fringe. I think it was a clip from their stream, maybe like last night or the night before, and how they were so excited for that one just because it's going to play. They're like, it's going to be basically like BO3 all over again.
Yeah.
Like that map is going to be insane. Like with all the wall bouncing that people are going to be doing, and with snipers in there. Like you kidding me?
Hmm.
Um, and to that point, if you have people who are like cracked subs and can actually use that wall running ability really well on those maps, and you have someone who's a good sniper, there's going to be heavy favoritism on some of those maps to your point of teams
Exactly.
being really, really good on them. Like I can imagine OpTic being really good on Fringe just
Hmm.
because of the players that they have. And same thing with Boston.
Hmm.
They'll definitely succeed on there. If you have people who maybe aren't the like snipers, then there's going to be some maps that they're going to struggle on, no doubt. Um,
Oh yeah.
but that's just what adds to the variety of it. And I don't even mind too. Something else I heard from them is, man, I don't really mind having some of these remasters in there. I
Hmm.
like we've mentioned that before. Of course, I want to have more, modern or like new map designs that come in. But for some of those old ones that are tried and true, I don't mind seeing them. And especially too, one like Meltdown, which
Hmm.
people were like, so on this. I think it's great that they're putting that map in there. That map hasn't been touched since BO2. And same thing with Yemen, which I think it's been rumored that's going to come in either season 1 reloaded or season 2. Like
Hmm.
these are great maps that they existed on one COD and they should honestly live on a lot longer than that.
Hmm.
Um, and it's just they're going to be treated like new maps. It's not like we're going to be watching Meltdown and be like, oh yeah, here it is again. Like
Hmm.
it's not like Nuketown where we've seen Nuketown and God knows how many titles. They're still relatively fresh because they haven't been used.
Yeah. And again, like I think as long as whole competitive map list isn't just remastered maps, it's totally
Right.
fine. Like you said, these maps have worked in every game they've been remastered in. Just put them in. It's more variety. Like I don't care, because all the other maps too, it causes, like, again, like, the wild card, right? The players that have been playing since these old maps, since BO2, BO3, yes, they have a slight edge already because they played it competitively, right? Um, maybe like an older team, they have an edge on that map because they just know how to play it better. But then, like, their weak point could be one of the maps from Black Ops 7. Like, they're just not that good on it. And that's when maybe a new, younger team, they that map just works out better for them, and they wanna pick that map in, like, game 5. Like, man, if you if you're going into a game 5, you're tied 2-2, and the opposite team, like, they won the game 3, and going into game 5, it's their map, and they're confident on it, like, that's tough. Like,
Yeah.
especially if the other team's going into game 5 and you're like, "This isn't our strongest map." But, we'll see how it go how it goes.
Right. And how some of those teams and players, as this league goes on and the season goes on, they're going to be able to find those nerd spots like we were talking about
Mhm.
at the beginning, that we're immediately going to like write that down and take it to
Yeah.
rank. Like, I don't know if you saw, you must have, right? You see that thing on with Neptune when he did that insane like rock glitch
Rocket
spot on exposure.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was should not have done that.
That
That
was one of those things I was like, what?
yeah.
I was like,
Dude,
dude,
he
are
did
you
that,
kidding
I'm
me?
like, I get it, he did it for the money, but also at the same time at the same
Right.
time, I'm like, he's done that multiple times. Like, the competitive integrity it's just not there. I mean, Slash is kinda right, like, it's not, but I would be pissed if I died from that spot. Like, I would be
Yeah.
so fucking mad
Uh,
if I
uh,
died from that spot.
when I saw that, I was like, "Dude, I was like, "That's insane." But I was like, "That's when he got the kills on it because no one
Yeah.
saw him because they couldn't."
Yeah.
That's why I was like, "Bro, if they lose this map
Mhm.
and because like this round was a big deal, I'm like, I'm fucking checked if I'm OpTic. I'm like, there's
100%.
no way this asshole is using this shit
Mhm.
right now. Like in this turn, like this isn't even
Yeah.
CDL.
And
Like,
it was banned too, like, or GA'd, like,
yeah.
and he broke a GA. See, like, this drama's already happening. I forget, was Nep with the same person that broke it? No, it wasn't Nep, it was Illy. Illy broke one of the GAs in MW3, and he was sitting, like, in the fountain,
Mm.
on what map was it? Was it Karachi? Nah, it might have been. I can't remember if it was Karachi or not. But yeah, these GAs, dude, when you break these GAs, everyone's gonna remember. Like, that's
And then
your reputation.
I think too was I'm pretty sure it was in that same series, different map though. I think it was the map 5 or was no, not map 5.
Mm,
Well, it was like way because they didn't even go to that. I think it was the last map they played. What did it go to? Did they go 5-3? Is that what OpTic ended up winning against them? I'm gonna go
Um,
check. Pretty sure it was, but
that
I can't.
sounds right. It didn't go
Yeah.
last. Like, yeah.
No, no, it went last map. Yeah.
No, it did.
Yeah. Um But when they played on Scar, it was the same thing. I'm pretty sure it was Envoy or Ghosty. They did some stair glitch,
Yeah.
kind of a thing in there, and people were like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Flipping out about it. Um, that stuff, when these new maps come out, I wonder if there's going to be some stuff that's kind of left behind, and people end up doing that, or if
Mhm.
they're going to be GAing most of that stuff.
Mhm.
Um, I don't mind some really cool, like, you know, I don't know what you had to like, high IQ plays or high IQ spots
Mhm.
that if and you're a total nerd, you're aware of it.
Mhm.
Like when you're mentioning with Hydra back in MW3, I remember when he did that and the casters were like, "What?" Like,
Yeah.
and I'm sure whoever he killed off bomb was like, "Dude, are
Mhm.
you kidding me?" Um, even because it's not an intended line of sight, but he's not glitched, like he's not hidden. He
Yeah,
just
that's
know
that's the
like those
difference.
walls are just made out of paper, and
Mhm.
you could shoot through them. Like I've had that even on this game. There's been some times where like I'll be tracing through a wall and I shoot somebody and I kill them and I was like, "Oh," I
Yeah.
was like, "Dude, what?" I was like, "You could shoot through that? Are you kidding me?"
Mhm.
And I'm like, man, I hope they're watching this kill cam. They're probably like, dude, this guy's hacking. I might respond, be like, bro, trust me, that's insane. Um, but yeah, with that whole spot, like I guess the debate is, yeah, you can't be seen in there, and you
Mhm.
have to kind of finesse your way to
Mhm.
get in. It's like the
Oh, dude,
OG
no.
rock
That's not
glitch
a
from
debate. It's just
W2. Yeah.
wrong. That's not a debate. You can't
Yeah.
see the person.
Do you
Like,
hear you hear Clay saying it? He's like, "Oh, it is what it is."
yeah, yeah. I'm like, there is no debate. It's wrong to use that. But
Yeah.
again, when you're playing for money, people are gonna do whatever they can to win. I just hope like when the CDL starts, like this isn't a CDL tournament, right? So people abide by GAs, but when it comes to the big time, people are gonna break GAs. And I just if I was on the other side of that, I'm losing it.
Well,
Absolutely losing it.
my thing is I hope that Treyarch just goes and patches that stuff,
Oh yeah,
pretty
yeah.
quickly. Because you forget about the competitive side of it for them. I mean, bro, what about us? Like if we're
Mhm.
playing ranked, like are you telling me now that I gotta go and double check that rock head glitch or like whatever? I gotta go and
Yeah.
like,
You just gotta
free
shoot
fire
it.
that thing?
Yeah.
Like just to make sure that no one's in there.
Mhm.
And am I gonna do that every time? Like, no chance.
Mhm.
If they don't patch that and I lose to that, I'm gonna be immediately checked. I'm gonna be so
Yeah.
pissed.
Oh yeah, exactly. But yeah, the competitive integrity is not there for a lot of people. Like I
Yeah.
it yeah, I just hope there's not many I feel like not many GAs are usually broken throughout the year. Like most of the players are like pretty good about it. Like I can understand this mainly because it's not part of the CDL, you know? But it does add to the drama, like build that reputation up of like that person. And like this is your team, like you guys are
Well,
awful.
yeah, well, that was the thing with Paris, right? They went and did that. I mean, I get the time
Mhm.
Orgless, which I just thought that was so weird. They're always like Orgless. I'm like, bro,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
we all know.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, two of their players breaking GAs in a grand finals. It definitely
Civ's
sets the
also known
tone.
for breaking like fucking snaking and stuff.
Yeah, it's like that's how that team wants to be known.
Yeah,
Maybe it was just a one-off, but
adds to
we'll
the
have to
drama.
wait. Yeah, no, it does. It does for sure. And it's gonna make the season more exciting. I mean, wrapping all that up, man, like this season, just like when we got that little taste of it from that whole event,
Mhm,
it was really, really fun to watch. And it's gonna be a great year. The game is really fun. We enjoy playing it, of course. We've been playing it, still loving it. Um, and then seeing it competitively has been really fun. I will say I need to go back and watch it a bit more because I had it kind of on in the background, but I need to pay attention more to it and actually see how they're playing. That way, when ranked comes out,
mhm.
I'm ready.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah. Yeah, I just watched the finals, 'cause I was away, but
Yeah.
I yeah, I mean, I'm ready for Rec, like, I'm cool to jump in and learn because there's a lot to learn in this game, and
Oh yeah,
I'm
big
ready for
time.
the challenge, but yeah, like, by the time you guys listen, like you said, season 1's gonna drop, and they're adding, like, a lot of stuff for season 1. They're adding those, party game modes, which you and I are always a fan of,
Thank
so
God.
those are gonna be added, they're gonna add a new 2v2 match, which, you and I are always down for those 2v2s.
Hmm.
Um, those are always fun. I really want them to bring back the tournament style again. Like, I don't know
I
why
know,
Treyarch
dude.
stopped doing that, but, like, I just want them to bring that back again. Who do I
Yeah,
gotta, like, write to, man?
yeah.
Like, bring that back.
Yeah. Do we need to like make a petition or something for people to sign? Like, I don't know. I don't get why they would ever get rid of that, you
Mhm,
know? It was such a good concept and such a good idea that pretty much everyone's on board with,
mhm,
and it's the same thing with the party modes. Like I saw I can't remember who it was that was talking about it, but it was a really good point with the party modes, how for some people they've fallen out of favor with them compared to Black Ops 1
mhm,
because Black Ops 1 had that whole wager system with the currency attached to it,
mhm,
which is fair. I can see those one in the chamber, sticks and stones, gun game, like they lose the allure when
mhm,
there's really nothing on the line for them. But our response to that, if you want some to be on the line for it, go make a freaking bracket, make a tournament.
exactly,
That way,
yeah.
it's like then you could play for some really cool, like reactive camo or calling cards, emblems, like anything that's pretty simple to make and just have as a reward for people. Then there's some actual stakes to it.
Mhm.
Uh, I don't feel like that would be so difficult for them to do, and I don't know why they don't just go ahead with it because that would be then the standard. You have those modes that you play, Like you could actually even add those into the tournament if you wanted to, or you want to keep them separate as party modes, sure. But um, to give some excitement to the whole 2v2 thing, if you're going to be doing party modes or just, like the random gun game thing that they have now,
Mhm.
it would definitely make it more exciting.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like we always end the night off with just 2v2s and casually playing, but I mean, if we end the night with entering a tournament, like there are times where we'll just run through it, like we win 6 games in a row or whatever. We get our XP. Like it'd be much more fun to win 6 games in a row and win a whole tournament.
Right, right, right.
Um, but yeah, I mean, those game modes are being added. Like I'm glad those are being added again. Multiplayer is fun. Um, Warzone, they're adding stuff into Warzone, which we won't even get into because we're not playing that. But
No.
zombies, they are adding like that giant robot is being added again. If you
Mhm.
remember from it was BO3, I believe.
Yes, I do remember
So
that.
yeah, and a whole new map is coming out for zombies. So I'm very curious about that because I have seen some zombies gameplay from Syndicate OG, and
That is OG.
he was enjoying it. Like he was having a lot of fun with it. And I'm like, "Huh, okay. So maybe the zombies community has like they have something here." Um but I definitely want to try out zombies because I know we missed out on it last year and I want to see how zombies is this year.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too. I haven't played it without you yet because I want to experience it together.
Mhm.
And I've heard that everyone's been pretty happy with the zombies
Mhm.
as well, which has been good. Again, the whole thing with this game, it's just like I swear to God, bro, if they didn't put a multiplayer in there, I don't think people will be talking about this game the same way. You know,
Yeah.
like the zombies community for the most part seems to be pretty happy, and they're not an easy group to please. And they've
Mhm.
had, rightfully so, they've had like, year after year of shit.
Mhm.
So seeing them happy is definitely a win. And then same thing with the multiplayer, casual and competitive. Like it's been a really good year for them as well.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I'd be excited to actually, instead of saying like we did with BO6, we were kept talking about how we're gonna go and play zombies.
Yeah.
Um, this year seems like it actually is a good year too. Um,
Mhm.
and yeah, I want to do it because I want to experience the stuff for this seasons, especially too if there's like a good story with it, which
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know
yeah.
anything about.
I don't know anything about either. I'm sure there's gonna be a good story along with it, but yeah, no,
Yeah.
I definitely want to try it out because yeah, I feel like after last year in BO6, like one, I was just burnt out in the game, like in general. But this year,
Mhm.
there's just the multiplayer is just fun. Like I when I was on my trip, I'm like, man, I just would like I want to play. Like I'm
Right.
excited to like hop on and play again and like not really stressed out about like I don't know, I need to grind this out or whatever. Like I'm just enjoying the game. Like I can't wait till
Yeah.
rank comes out. Like I just want to play.
Yeah. It's not a chore to play this game
No,
like it
yeah,
has been in
which
other
is
years.
huge. Yeah. Everything out, yeah, it's always been a chore in Black Ops 6 to like grind that out. And then I was like, yeah, nope, I can't can't do this chore anymore, man.
Yeah, and then with that too, like same. We've got like what do you got here? Because I'm trying to zoom in on some of the other guns. The main gun that people are talking about, the Maddox, is returning.
Thematics.
We'll see how it is. We'll
Mhm.
see. I
It's
hope
not gonna
that
be as
it's
good.
not. No,
It won't be.
nothing will be as good as that Maddox.
Yeah.
Um, my thing is, I just hope with this gun, it's not completely broken.
Mhm.
It always seems to be that when they add these guns in the season, there's like at least one of them that's a complete disaster. Like it is the meta gun.
Mhm.
Um, I'd like to see it used. It'd be
Mhm.
great to have it in there as one of the other guns people can use, but uh, I hope it doesn't just dominate. And I
Yeah.
hope it's not shit. I want it to be a good gun.
Just in mid. Just
Yes,
in the mid. Yeah.
like
I
mid
mean, like,
mid plus.
they've done a pretty good job in, like, recent years of, balancing these, like, new weapons added to the season.
Yeah.
Um, Cause yeah, I honestly, I feel like the last time where, like, a gun was completely overpowered in the new seasons was, like, MW3, I wanna say, when, there I forget what the weapon was that was added in season, but it was, like, towards the end of the season, and it changed the not meta completely, but like in pubs, no one was using like the ACR anymore.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I forget the gun too.
Yeah. Um, but I mean, like, it was definitely broken in Cold War. That's like what we remember most. Like the the weapons that were added in season,
Yeah,
those were bad.
yeah, those are terrible. So as long as they don't go to that extreme and they're just middle tier, you know, maybe solid if you throw some attachments on there, get the right
Hmm.
combo, then I'll be happy with it.
Yeah.
Um, And again, so far what we've had from the game, it seems like they're delivering. So I'd be surprised if something like that, if it goes unchecked, that they don't quickly fix it and then we're, you know, balanced out and then we'll be good to go.
Hmm.
But yeah, man, I mean, honestly, like wrapping up with this stuff, like it's been a great start here. You know, we got the whole like CDL stuff that's gonna be coming up here soon. We had our match again. Congrats to Optic. Hopefully the boys in Boston have a better showing. They didn't do that well during it, but you know, what are you going to do? A single limb like or for them at the beginning of it,
Yeah.
it's not really that big of a deal. They looked
It's
good
not
when they were
even the
playing.
CDL yet.
Yeah, exactly.
So
So you can't put that much stock into it.
you can't at all.
And then
Yeah.
season one's looking good too, bro. Like again, Black
Hmm.
Ops 7, knock on wood, it's off to a good start. I hope that they continue it because
Hmm.
it's refreshing to talk about a game positively.
I know. Yeah. Yeah. And we're excited to play it. Like,
Yeah, I know. No,
but
it's
yeah, I
really,
mean,
really good.
again, though, like I want to shout out the Discord. If you
Mhm.
guys want to join the community, just talk about COD and honestly, like about whatever stuff, like join the Discord. We're gonna have the link down below. Honestly, we should probably like link it on our like Twitter too, like at the top or something. But
Yeah.
well, yeah, like the link is just gonna be spammed everywhere. So feel free to join. You know, we got like a couple of people in there now. Like we're active like every day in it.
Mhm.
Um, and it's just a good community to join. And you and I are gonna try to plan out like a couple, you know, fun stuff for the Discord, like in the future, especially throughout the season. And yeah, if you guys are going to the Optic Major or whatever, like you got to let us know. Like now, we're gonna be there. So amped for that, and we actually get to see, you know, a real a fun game at a real major, and it's just gonna be a good time.
Yeah, it's good vibes all around. Like we're off to a really good year. There's just W's all the time here that we're hitting. Again with the Discord coming and with the major. So if you want to be a part of all that, be sure to go and follow us on Twitter. You know, at COD Casuals, we say that all the time. And then of course with the Discord, be sure to join it because we're active on there just as much. And you get to see everybody else too. You know, all the other people that follow us and are playing Call of Duty. So you can make some new friends in there and
Hmm.
get a squad. If you're solo and ranked and you need some people, join up and get some people to run it with when we eventually get ranked here.
Hmm. Yeah, and
So
these guys are grinding guys. You know, some people in the
yes,
Discord,
yes.
these guys are grinding. So
I think I'm
they
grinding,
know
and
what
then
they're
I'm
doing.
like, I'm dog shit.
Yeah, I'm grinding.
And
Like, oh,
then we
okay.
realize we're pushing 30. I'm like, we're
Yeah,
having
I'm
a
like,
fun.
I'm only first. These guys are like,
Yeah,
they're already master. I'm like, oh shit.
yeah. I'll say really quick too. That's the thing, bro. When I see this game, like last night, I was playing a little bit, and I'm getting queued up with this guy. He's Master Prestige level 80. I'm
Mhm.
like, you know that dog meme? The
Yeah,
dog's
yeah,
looking over
yeah,
you.
yeah.
And he fried my shit. It's like, dude, he's got all these
Yeah.
reactive camos. I'm like, dude, there's no way you're older than 21. There's no
Oh,
way.
dude,
Like,
I like, yeah, like I want to play. I just haven't. I'm first. I'm like level 5 or something like that. But
yeah.
I've. I'm like, oh, I want to play, but then something comes up. I'm like, shit, I can't play. And then, but I've from last year, I've gotten like last year taught me a lot about like, you know,
Mhm.
I'm gonna just appreciate the game for what it is right now. Like this game
Yeah.
is a lot of fun. The fact that I do want to hop on and like play this game just by myself says a lot. So I'm like, I'm not
There's
trying to
no
force
rush.
anything. I'm gonna just gonna go play this game, enjoy it. When zombies comes out, we're gonna play it. Like we're
Yeah.
gonna cruise through this.
And keep it
Uh
casual. There's no rush. The game's not going anywhere,
Yeah,
and it's a
until
good
we get
game.
into ranked. Till we get into ranked, it's locked in.
Yeah, it's
Everything's
go time.
we're going
It's go
hard.
time. Yeah.
Um,
We'll have
and the people that are master already, I can't believe it. Fantastic for you guys, but like holy shit,
to.
I cannot believe that,
They hold up the job application.
dude. I
Oh,
was gone for what, like 5 days, I think.
mhm.
Um, yeah, I was gone for 5 days. I guarantee I'll sign on now. People are probably gonna be like 5th, 6th prestige already.
Oh
100%. I'm
yeah.
like, what the hell just happened?
Well,
When I
take
left
advantage.
every
It's
yeah.
double XP too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I do know that. I saw that. I'll try to take
Yep.
it. I got other shit going on, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like
I
the
mean, yeah,
pod, bro. I
yeah.
got the pod.
It's
No
like,
one else has got like the pod and like other stuff going on. I hope you guys
oh yeah,
understand. Like some of my friends are like, oh, like how long does it take? I'm like, guys, this shit takes a while to get done.
yeah, yeah. And then also the fact too that we're just adults. We've got life things going on. I
No,
can't
yeah,
game
yeah.
as much. I
But
can't game as much.
yeah, the pod takes up a lot of time. I don't think people actually realize
It
that.
does.
And the fact that
So
we're
appreciate,
250 episodes deep,
and we haven't missed a week.
that's a lot,
Yeah,
guys.
it is insane. But no, it's again, it's good now knowing that we've got a good game and it's not going anywhere and pumping out the episodes for everybody to be enjoying, talking about a game that we're happy about, and the community seems to be happy about.
Mhm.
It's definitely putting us off on the right foot for this new season of the podcast.
Mhm.
So I'm looking forward to talking about it, and I hope everybody listening to is looking forward to be talking about it and hearing us yap about it here because it is definitely a good year for sure. But
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, man, I think we'll probably wrap it up there unless you had anything else you wanted to add.
No, I think we're good.
Sure. So we'll plug it one last time here again. Discord, join it, have it in the description. We'll put it on our Twitter at COD Casual. So go follow us there if you haven't already. And then, of course, go to anchor.fm/COD Casual since we're there on all platforms. Um, YouTube, comment, like, subscribe.
Mhm.
TikTok, Instagram, you know the deal. Go follow us over there. We've been growing steadily on those platforms, so we appreciate all the support over there as well. And then Spotify rating, overall rating, 5 stars only. We
Mhm.
appreciate that. It does help us grow to become the #1 Call of Duty podcast out there, which we're slowly but surely, Justin. We're
To the
chipping away at that
moon.
time
To the
to the
moon.
moon. Yeah, COD Casuals to the moon and back. And yeah, I think that does it, huh?
Yeah.
So again, everybody, thank you for listening to episode number 250 of the COD Casuals podcast. We're your host, Mike,
I'm Justin.
and we'll see you guys next week. Take it easy, everybody.
See ya.